Welcome back, guys. It is so good to just be here. In today's video, I have a special guest. Well, she's gonna be special to you, but she's, you know what? It's my wife. I'm gonna introduce you guys to my wife. I'm gonna be doing her hair today. It's gonna be super fun. You know, she's probably gonna give me some crap, anyways, she's just awesome and I love her to death and I can't wait for you guys to meet her. Let's get this started. The video's coming right up. All right, guys, so let me introduce you. This is my beautiful wife. This is Kelsey. Say what's up, YouTube.
What's up, YouTube?
Yeah, all right. So she's pretty, you know what I mean? I'm the ugly one in the relationship. She's super pretty. You know, this is where our children get all their beautiful looks from. Anyways, without further ado, let's talk about her hair. This is basically just a little bit washed and air dried, okay? We're gonna re-wet this, but I just kind of want to show you guys. So after, you know, she's got kind of like a finer texture, but she has a lot of it, okay? Now with that, you know, one of the things is when this length starts to get a little bit longer, you can start to see it starts to really kind of separate and it starts to look a little bit kind of sparse to it. So really what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring up some length. We're gonna keep having like layers in the front. That's super important because one of the things, guys, I wanna share with you is that after having our second child, you know, sometimes people experience hair loss and they can actually experience hair loss just all over, or they can experience some hair loss kind of like right around this hairline area. And it's not like more like hair loss. We were a little bit concerned, you know, she was like a little bit concerned. She's like, is it gonna grow back? I'm like, yes, it's gonna grow back for sure. But the thing about it is that you have to know your body goes through crazy transformations when you have a child. Sometimes you don't lose any hair, sometimes you lose a little bit, you know, a little bit more. Sometimes really at the end of the day, you know, you have to kind of wait that full blown almost, I would say 4 to 8, 9 months after you give birth, because again, you know, you never know how your body is really gonna react. So, you know, we're about almost at that 7 months. I'm excited to do her hair. I've been really wanting to do her hair for my channel for a while and she's like, no, yeah. Anyways, so, you know, it's gonna be fun. Without further ado, let's get started. It's gonna be fabulous. Okay.
Let's pretend like we live in the 1800s.
Yeah, 1800s with these nice LED lights right above us and giving us a really beautiful glow. While I'm wearing my Lulu, you know, and I've got mic'd up, you know, we've got all these like, yeah, for sure, 1800s. Yeah, let's go with that, dude. Yeah. We are gonna put that in there. When we are talking about if you're dealing with a finer textured hair and you want the hair to look as thick as possible, we need to have like a very blunt line, like a very like just strong line to it. Now, if you're gonna point cut, you wanna point cut very, very shallow. But a majority of the time, we're gonna be cutting this just really, really straight, really crisp, because we wanna make sure that the density at the scalp matches those ends. So let's just go ahead and get started really quick. She usually parts her hair in the middle. Sometimes she'll part it on the side. I kinda like it on the side personally. I think it looks a little sexy, you know, it's got that volume to it, but whatever. We can part it in the center. Having it part in the center is gonna work, so no matter what, she can part her hair any direction. You know what's actually kind of funny? This is funny, we actually argue about this, right? She has that kind of texture, that finer texture hair that you have to be really gentle with, and it tangles, like it just tangles like no matter what. Like I can brush it and I'll move it literally like half a degree and it's tangled, you know what I mean? And so it's just kind of funny. And she's like, you're being so rough. And I'm just like, you know, it's just that texture of hair that you just have to be a little bit more gentle with. And, you know, she might be making a face right now because it's a little bit tangled, but whatever, you know. She's like, you don't like my hair, do you? And I'm like, you know, I do, but, you know, it's just that texture that. Okay, guys, so first off, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically establish a very, very crisp line, okay? Now, a lot of times you can actually take sections when you do this, but, you know, I'm gonna take off just about 2 inches right through here. And when I mean 2 inches, closer to about almost 2.5, 3. Now, I just want this hair to just look super, super crisp and super, super thick. And so with that, you know, you can see how just that line right there in itself just looks super amazing, like right through that specific point, right through there, okay? And I always like to, when I'm cutting length, I like to use the fine tooth of my comb. That is super, super important. And when I do this, I always keep kind of twisting, and you guys can see how I go from like the head being like straight down, and then I kind of turning it to where she's like just like over, and you can see her head tilted at this specific angle, and it's tilted to her right. Then over through here, so I'm going to tilt her head straight forward, just like that. Then as I start to kind of tilt just like that, as I'm starting to move in this quadrant, right through here. Now for the ultimate reveal. Is it going to be even? No, it's not even. This side is longer. You know what's the funny thing? As a hairdresser, I always have one side that's longer, and it's always the right side, always. You know, I don't know what it is, and I know exactly where it happened like right back here at this corner. Cross-checking your work is super, super important. You can see right here at this, and I just started to leave it a little bit long right through this area. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to yeah, a lot better. You know, you want to make sure you have a balanced haircut. That's super important, right? You know what I mean? Like,
maybe because you stand lopsided too.
You know, yeah, that's true. Absolutely, you know, I'm gonna probably say touche. The other important thing is that we don't really want to add a ton of layer through the back of it. We'll add probably just a little bit, but mainly the focus is that I'm going to make sure that we have a lot of movement in this front area. Because again, with this hair that's growing back in this recession area, we want to make sure that this area is, of course, number one, cut super blunt, but if we didn't have any sort of layer right through this front area and that was hanging, it would like probably start to actually separate and look a lot thinner. And that's why you need to add more movement right in that front area to where it doesn't start to separate and it'll actually start to, you know, it actually starts to look thicker because again, we're still waiting for some of that to fill back in. And once that starts to fill back in, we can make those layers a little bit longer. What I normally do in my videos, when it goes to finding that part in that front area, I'm gonna do this same thing. And so I'm gonna go on an angle, as you can kind of see right through here. And so now I've got, and you can see how I come in right through here and then down. So I'm actually now working with, and as you can start to see where that's starting to separate right through there. So we're gonna go and kind of like fix that right through there. And you can also see where I kind of bring this hairline up through here. Normally you could go straight down, but with that, we're gonna bring that up a little bit more. So what I'm doing, okay, I'm gonna show you guys here really, really quick, is that I'm gonna take all of this hair, I'm gonna push this all the way forward, just like this. You can see where my guide, okay, I cut that before, and now what I wanna do is I'm just going to cut this straight off, just like this. So I'll take and I'll move this forward, all forward, just like that. And then I'll take this bottom portion same thing. Move this forward and just check, make sure. So now when I look at this, I can look and see that we still have the strength of this bottom portion, because as you are moving this all the way forward, okay, this hair doesn't live all the way forward like this, so you're gonna be keeping all of this length as it starts to fall. And then this front area from about this high cheekbone forward, you're gonna have this like open up right through there. And then you're gonna have that strength in that layer right around the front to where it looks nice and thick and dense. But it has that nice movement around the face. That's super important. So again, we're going to be doing the same thing over here on this side. And as you can see how I took my sections just like this. And always, because you wanna make sure you're balanced, I'm gonna take a little bit of hair right here from this side. I'm gonna use this as a little bit of a guide right through here. You can see that's where that short hair is, right there, okay? I always want to make sure that I'm checking my work for balance. Again, I've talked about this before. So after I hold this out horizontally like that, I'm actually gonna comb it down into its natural falling position to make sure how everything is looking along that bottom portion. Because these first sections that you guys do are gonna be super crucial. If these lines are not looking 100% even, this is where you're gonna make your mistake all the way around. So as I had combed this out this way, you're gonna see this line along the bottom will be a little bit softer. So that's why when I go to brush these down just like this, I'm going to be cleaning up these lines to really get that nice crispness along that bottom perimeter, which is super important. Because again, I just want, my main objective, my main goal is to make sure that this looks as thick as possible. Tangle, yes, absolutely. This is, you know, if we fight about anything, it's really only this, right? Okay guys, what I really want you guys to pay attention to is that now that we have kind of done this, like it actually has a lot more strength to it, right? We actually have a lot more strength in the actual length itself. And then we actually have a lot more strength in this area, like really right around that front area. Because the longer that this length actually gets, and if you do have any sort of recession, if you have any sort of thinness, or you just don't have a lot of hair like right in the front area, this would be an ideal thing to do as far as cutting your hair. So just remember guys, that you want to make sure that those layers right in there, then the front, you want to layer it coming out this way, and then you want to layer it at the bottom because you want to make sure that that line is going to be super crisp down through there. So keep that in mind guys. We're actually going to go ahead and dry this so we can actually kind of check out and see kind of how this looks. So let's go ahead and do that now. And yeah. After I round brushed, I wrapped it one time, leaving out those ends, and then I clipped it, okay? Now this is brushed out. Now the reason I do that is to create a little bit more volume and lift at the root area, and then to have those ends a little bit softer and a little bit more modern, as you would say. It's not so kind of flipped out kind of thing. And so you can see how the main focus, the main concentration is right through this area. And then what you will notice is that this ends look super thick and dense. Now there's 2 points to this haircut, right? When you're working on fine to medium textured hair that might be a little bit more sparse and thin at the front area from pregnancy loss, they just don't have a lot of hair, whatever it may be. So this haircut is gonna be for you. If your hairdresser doesn't know how to cut this, show them this video. You know what? I walk you through everything. But if you don't have a hairdresser that does it, you come see me. You come see me in Salt Lake City. I'd love to do your hair. Anyways, let's go ahead and finish cutting off this hair. Well, we're not gonna be cutting it off, but I mean, just shaping it up. Give me a like. Tell me what you guys think. You know, leave a comment how beautiful my wife is. Again, she's the muse, right? I'm the ugly duckling. She's the beautiful one. What do you think about it, babe?
I love it.
Yeah, see? You know, I mean, again, hopefully she loves it. If she doesn't, you know, I mean, we do sleep next to each other. So we don't really have to do any sort of refinement, right? Because we have created a structured line along the bottom, okay? Which is just going to make that hair just look super dense and thick along that bottom portion. But then the most crucial portion is gonna be that front area. Now, again, I'm gonna walk you through something really, really quick. We brought that forward, we established that guide, and we cut that straight down. Then we combed everything into its natural falling position, and that's where we cut that bottom perimeter, because we want that bottom perimeter to be super crisp as well. So those 2 things, and we did not go past the top of the ear, okay? So because again, we don't need to bring all of this hair forward. This hair doesn't live in that front area. We need that structure on that bottom portion and that structure in that front portion. Give us a like, give us a comment if you dig it. I wanna thank my beautiful wife, Kelsey. She's fabulous, she's amazing. You know what? Thanks for trusting me to doing your hair, you know? Again, what do you wanna say to YouTube? What do you wanna say to me? All right.
I just want to do the what's up, guys? Jake Thompson hair.
She makes fun of me for that every time I'm watching my videos. She's just like, what's up, guys? Yeah, exactly. Anyways, guys, Thompsons are out. You know, my name is Jake. This is Kelsey, my wife. Hopefully you guys are gonna see her again. Hopefully she doesn't go inside and start crying because of her haircut. No, anyways, it's amazing. It's beautiful. Again, like, comment, share, all that groovy stuff. My name is Jake Thompson Hair. I will see you guys in the next video.